Good afternoon. Today we are continuing working on our ratios unit. Today we're working on PO30. I can write the unit rate for a given ratio. So we're working with ratios again, but this time we're finding the unit rate for that ratio. So a unit rate is a rate which can be called a ratio or fraction, but it has to have, so it's with a denominator of 1. So in order to be a unit rate, that denominator has to be a 1. So whenever we work with unit rates, we see what we can do to get the denominator to 1. Reminding ourselves whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So if we have $12 for 3 gallons of gas, ooh, wow, that would be a good deal. $12 for 3 gallons of, no, not a good deal.
Yeah, no, that's
that would be a bad deal. So how would we find that unit rate? So we want to know how many, or not how many, how much, because it's money. How much money per gallon? So we want to know that unit rate, how much money per gallon. So if it's $12 for 3 gallons, and we know for a unit rate, we want to get down to that 1 gallon, what do we have to do, Adeza? We're going to divide by 3. Because 3 divided by 3 gets me a 1. Whatever I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. What is $12 divided by 3? $4.
Yeah, that's a bad deal.
That is not a good deal for gas. We do not want to pay $4 for 1 gallon of gas.
Well, that's kind of what it is, though, now.
What? Still don't want to pay $4 for a gallon of gas. Gallons of gas by my house now are $2.99. I don't want to pay $4.
$2.99. Since when?
We're gonna focus, friends. Focus.
During COVID, it was $5.
Yeah, it did not get up to $5 in Minnesota. Okay, focusing. If we have 280 miles for 4 hours, how many miles per 1 hour? Grace? We're going to divide by 4. 4 hours divided by 4 gets us to 1 hour. What is 280 divided by 4? 70. So we can go 70 miles in an hour. Okay? Speed limit signs. 55 miles an hour. 70. When I go through Wisconsin, it's 70 miles an hour on 94. Okay? On the interstates, you can go faster. The main road by my house is 40 miles an hour. Okay, so that brings those speed limit signs our unit rates. We go down to that 1 hour. How fast can we go in 1 hour? We can do 35 claps in 1/4 of a minute. We're clapping. We're not going to practice. But when we clap 30, we're not going to practice it. How many claps in a minute? How many claps per 1 minute? Talked about this briefly. Who knows what we need to do? Who remembers from yesterday? Will. Why would we times it by 4, Will? Because 1/4 times 4 equals 1. So whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. What is 35 times 4? Claire? 140 claps per minute. Friends, I'm not sure why people are clapping. I said we are not trying it. We have too much to do. This is a big one right here. Lots of people forget what to do when we have a fraction as our denominator. If we want to go to the 1, it means we have to multiply by that denominator. So 1/4 times 4 equals 1. Trust me when I say a lot of people forget this. So I need you to pay attention and know what to do when we have a fraction as our denominator. So I am going to erase so I can scroll up. Thank you for being calm and quiet, most of us. To find the unit rate, you're going to write the rate as a fraction. So when we have it written out, you're going to turn it into a fraction and simplify it to have a denominator of 1. By doing this, you're calculating how much of the numerator would equal 1 unit of the denominator, thus the name unit rate. So, 18 apples in 6 baskets. What is our unit rate for that? What do I have to do, Kyle? Nope. I am not dividing the numerator and denominator. What is it that well, kind of, I guess. Yeah, I guess, Kyle, I think you were on the right track. It's just not how I would have explained it. So you're right, you have to divide out that denominator because we want that to be 1 basket. So your answer should be in that fraction format. We want it to go down to 1 basket, and Kyle's right, we have to divide out that denominator. So we are dividing by 6. So whatever we divide the denominator by, we divide the numerator by. So yes, you were correct. 18 apples divided by 6 gets me how many apples? 3 apples. Okay. Notice how I'm labeling this. It's not 3/1. It's 3 apples per 1 basket. Labels matter. Okay. We need to make sure we're using our labels. Because it's important to know that it's 3 apples and not 3 puppies. Okay. 3 apples per 1 basket. Labels matter.
3 apples is 3.
Look at our next one. It's $22.50 for a third of the day. What do I have to do, Lakely?
Divide 3, or wait, times 3 on the numerator and the denominator.
Why did you switch it to multiplying by 3 instead of dividing by 3?
Because you can't really do 1/3 divided by 3.
Because 1/3 divided by 3 does not equal 1. And we want it to equal 1 day. 1/3 times 3, because that's 3/1 becomes 3/3. 3/3 is 1 whole. So when we have that fraction, we multiply. So now we need $22.50 times 3. How much is it for a full day? Gabe?
$67.50.
So $67.50. Our next one is not set up as a fraction. What did I say to do? Set it up as a fraction. Your answer needs to be in a fraction. You need a 1 as the denominator, so we want to go down to 1 ounce. Okay, so you need to make sure your answer is as a fraction. We need to make sure that everyone has a 1 as a denominator. We need to make sure that whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. Most of the time we're dividing out that denominator. Every once in a while we have to multiply if there's a fraction as our denominator. So when you see a fraction as your denominator, you know you have to multiply. Then we have some word problems. Break it down, see what information they're giving you, how to make your ratio, how are you going to turn that into a unit rate. Any questions on today's assignment? All right, this is going to be a quiet work time. When you are finished, I'm going to be making the math packet video, so you can follow along with your math packet. You can work on Khan Academy, that is due tomorrow night. If you're done with your packet and you've turned it into the tray, I have not started correcting them yet, so you can take it back out and go along, watch the video tonight. Make sure you did your pages correctly. Just remember, we've got Khan Academy due tomorrow night, math packets, and I have some Math Masters from November to pass back with some corrections that can be made. So for those of us watching at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.